Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I'm going to talk about some of these energies that I channeled into the Divine Masculine Collective. I feel they're being met with all kinds of obstructions as part of their journey towards spirit. So there's a lot of value when it comes to obstructions because it provokes this analysis, this reassessment, and this reevaluation. So this provoking energy is bringing forward this deep awareness of this spiritual, emotional energy that the masculine is being asked to bring into physical expression. So I feel this disengagement. A lot of the masculines have been confronted by many obstacles recently, many challenges in order to get them to withdrawal. And this provoking energy is bringing forward all of these confronting obstacles because of the refusal of the call. So I feel a lot of the masculines have been asked to disengage in the company that they've been keeping within the karmic contracts, and this lack of decision, this chronic indecision when it comes to re-engaging with the feminine, and this refusal of the call is bringing forward obstacles in great capacity. And it's provoking this deep level of confrontation, I feel, and quite possibly even some of these masculines have encountered a direct assault from the karmic entity that they've been attached to. What I kept being shown was a direct assault. And so this temptress has been spinning her wheels when it comes to all of these obstacles, and I feel many of the masculines are going to have to tackle these challenges head on, no matter how uncomfortable these emotions are. This direct assault on the masculine was really essential when it comes to him taking responsibility for his actions. So, you know, this avoidance really has brought forward a lot of failure in the divine masculine's life, this avoidance. So they've not really considered the karmic repercussions, and they've been self-sacrificing. And now everything is kind of just disastrous is what I feel. And the masculine is, you know, facing all kinds of confrontations in the energies. And I kept being shown the Temperance card. So I feel the masculines are carefully re-evaluating and reassessing everything that's been going on before taking some action. And they kind of have to understand the value of all of these feelings when it comes to establishing proper morals in their lives. A lot of these masculines have no moral compass, no moral values, and they hurt many people regardless of the consequences and the circumstances. And I feel they can no longer ignore their single-minded ego. And I feel they can no longer spiritually bypass when it comes to all of these obstacles. So this is kind of like the divine Y point when it comes to establishing these new thought patterns and making all of these obstacles irrelevant when it comes to this imaginative energy. No more spiritually bypassing these obstacles is kind of what I feel. And so the masculine's hard-headedness is kind of being exalted. And I don't think they have any support in and around them at all when it comes to this hard-headedness. And so this is where they kind of have to troubleshoot through all of this ego dominance, all of their past abuses, and the self-aggrandization when it comes to their personal ambitions rather than the benefit of humanity, the benefit of the collective. So I feel this deep drive when it comes to channeling all of these emotions. I think a lot of moodiness, a lot of root center clearing into the solar plexus when it comes to empowerment. And I feel the karmic really has provoked a lot of these emotions to the surface when it comes to the masculine's evolution and his true spirit kind of revealing itself. So a lot of mutative potential is what I feel as the masculine is released into this spiritual consciousness through the solar plexus gateways. So I feel we all have the energy to persevere through any challenges as we tap into this spiritual awareness, but a lot of revelations when it comes to this correction, energy correction is what I kept hearing. So this is kind of where the masculine gets provoked into getting in touch with himself and to work out his own feelings, and all of this illicit misery that was caused towards the divine feminine because of his poor decisions is definitely coming full circle. There's a collective clearing is what I feel going through, and whatever's fallen deaf on the masculine's ears is now screaming in his ears loud and clear when it comes to facing all of this opposition, this stubbornness. And I feel if the masculine wants to preserve his individual integrity, he's going to have to face all of these detrimental forces, which are necessary in order for him to combat his fear, in order to have this knowledge that life holds immense value. So is the masculine qualified? I don't know. So I feel this tempering energy is based on all of these negative circumstances and this reattunement when it comes to proper action and making amends. So I feel the masculines come into his psychic gift of knowing, a lot of knowing, and a lot of transgression when it comes to these negative codes of behavior that the masculine has been playing into, because he did not use his discretion. He did not use his intuitive awareness, and I feel he was like this servitude for this superficiality, the superficial karmic entity. And she definitely has defeated the masculine during these times of struggle is what I'm feeling. So it's this analysis paralysis is kind of what I'm feeling. And the masculine's going to have to kind of be that detective, to go inside, to accept that he's kind of manifested all of these challenges in his life through his aggressive means of, you know, wanting to have it all at any cost and not caring who it was that he hurt. So, you know, the way the masculine has acted really has limited his trustworthiness amongst his social circle. And I think there's a lot of adrenaline coming to the surface, provoking a lot of aggressiveness in the energies. So he's at this stage of opposition, going through a period of total alienation or isolation as well, when it comes to, you know, how stubborn he has been. And the stubbornness, you know, really brought the feminine to rock bottom, where she had to learn to fight for herself alone. And so now the masculine is going through this very painful alienation, this very painful confinement, because he was so blinded at the mess that he made and his inability to come to the feminine's aid at rock bottom. So a lot of recognition when it comes to this misunderstanding between the counterparts. And it's this recrystallization of the DNA structure in order to clear up these misunderstandings, in order to attract the masculine back to the feminine, to face this opposition once and for all. So I feel a deep recognition of the root cause of this opposition and this insistent misunderstanding coming up with all of these opposing forces. And so the root of the struggle really is coming up to be addressed. For many of the masculines, I feel in the energies, and all of this pressure is being exerted all around the masculine in order to discover the true value of life. So I feel purpose, elevation beyond the struggle, because a lot of these masculines have simply just been surviving. And I feel they're being backed into a corner with all of this opposition, and they're kind of being forced to confront all of the damage that they've done and why they did not stand up for themselves or the divine feminine. And so it's the correct time for them to go through these negative experiences if they are going to be able to harness their fierce independence again, if they're going to be able to highly focus on meeting these challenges. And I feel a lot of death energy, head-on death is what came through, head-on death. And there was actually a head-on collision this weekend that did result in a death. So, you know, we're here to enjoy life to the fullest. And we're here to discern ourselves and preserve our empowerment. And so we kind of have to go through these struggles if we are to stop avoiding wasting our time and engaging in battles that aren't even correct for us. So a lot of these masculines engage in these karmic battles. They lack personal integrity, and they've definitely compromised, you know, their view, I feel, how people view them. So a lot of impacting energies, and I feel the masculine is being asked to bite through all of these challenges, and I feel a lot of justification justification. Whatever was unjustified in the past is being brought forward in deliberate, persistent interference for this karmic rebalancing of the scales. So it's like the universe is demanding justice, and it's like this last resort warning coming forward when it comes to this necessary adjustment. So I feel the masculine is at rock bottom, pleading with the universe to find his willpower to come forward and ask for respect from the divine feminine. And what I kept hearing is might is right. So was the masculine legitimate in these poor actions? Not likely. And this flagrant, persistent lack of accountability is leading the masculine to severe regret. A lot of severe regret in this very uncomfortable ego demise when it comes to the appraisal and the proper response to bring forward to the feminine. So powerlessness is what came through. And now I feel this leveling out, this level playing field, and it's this condemnation with all of these cosmic superior forces, and the masculine is being defeated. I'm experiencing a deep level of humiliation. And a lot of these masculines abuse drugs and alcohol as a refusal to follow their true spiritual path, and they chose materialism over over spirituality, and it's the breaking down of the ego, total withdrawal, and their material path has been blasted to smithereens in order for them to use their own personal objectivity. So all of these universal forces is going to emotionally motivate the masculine to bring forward high principles. So I think even a lot of legal disputes coming up for the masculine in order to balance his ego and all of this abuse of power. So I feel a lot is being eliminated out of the masculine's life at this point in time. I think they're losing a lot of money, a lot of material aspects. They're no longer in control of their domain at this point in time. And this is to ensure the breakdown of the ego, to ensure the survival of the tribe. So we cannot have control over something or someone. In the modern world, so many people seek to control and they avoid responsibilities. And so I kind of feel biting through this powerful reconditioning in order to regain that life force energy on the material plane. So I do feel a lot of loss of material resources. They might even have lost where they live. They might only just have the clothes on their back. And everything that they've worked for is being ripped away from them as part of this gateway portal. And I feel like the masculine's hearing a lot of, I told you so, I told you so. And looking over his shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop is the energy as part of his destination to serve others. So I feel he can no longer bargain in the energies. And all of this projection is releasing his ability to control anything. So I feel a lot of sacral chakra clearing when it comes to manifesting these unions, and all of this resistance is bringing forward a lot of negative measure in the masculine's life. So let's jump in with some cards and we'll see what else needs to come through. Yeah, there's recently been a lot of illumination, and there's that alienation, disconnect, and relax. So whatever's recently been illuminated, the masculine is deep within inner reflection, and he's finally reading between the lines when it comes to those karmic attachments, facing all kinds of challenges, obstacles. I feel a lot of them are backed into a corner, hitting their head up against a brick wall when it comes to whatever's recently been illuminated and exposed. So we'll see what else needs to come through. That illumination really wanted to come out, and the masculine is dreaming of you for sure when it comes to this resolution, wanting to spend time together, for sure, wanting that fresh start with you. And so I feel definitely going through all of these distorted views of the ego and, you know, releasing that very disloyal karmic attachment. Interesting. So I think there's been some exposure when it comes to some betrayal. And I kind of feel the masculine is still holding on to you, knowing that it's kind of time to come forward and seek that guidance. He misses you. He wants to fix what's broken, and there is going to be a major rebalancing because the masculine knows he's waiting, or the masculine knows, you know, you're waiting for him to confirm that, yes, that ending has taken place, that contract has completely expired. And so there's that feminine, that lighthouse shining her light brightly, and, you know, he's holding on tight, hoping that it's not too late to come in for that fresh start, because he does see you clearly now as his life partner. He's never been able to erase you out of his heart. He, you know, you've left that impression on him, and he's definitely hitting that rock bottom, definitely struggling with some finances when it comes to this karmic repercussion. So I think they're definitely feeling very badly for not being there for you, for breaking your trust, for making you feel like you didn't exist. They dismissed you, Divine Feminine. They left you out in the cold. They kept you in the dark. They've been gone for a very long time. They didn't tell you the truth when they had the chance. They didn't make you feel like you were worthy. They didn't tell you they loved you. They were not there for you. They were not a good partner. They were not a good friend. And I feel they definitely betrayed your trust, and now something has come full circle, and they've been betrayed, likely financially, in the karmic contract. So let's see what else needs to come through with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. Mastery. So this is where the masculine can choose to step into mastery. We're concluding all of these karmic cycles, and we've definitely reached a level of completion when it comes to these lessons. And I think it's kind of time to rip the proverbial band-aid off and to have that face-to-face once and for all, because the masculine is in deep need of nourishment from the feminine, is what I'm feeling. He's missing you, and he knows it's kind of time to come forward for that care. So a major transformation, closing out those false contracts, stepping into lifetime partnerships. And the masculine's deep within the void. I don't think he's feeling your energy. He's not feeling your presence. And he's recently gone through a major relationship paradigm. His soul is awakening as he sheds all of these negative relationships, going through a deep period of awakening around his identity, understanding that he is part of this massive global awakening. And there's that relationship paradigm landed right on the karmic attachment with the disloyalty. So I do feel the masculine has recently broken those chains of addiction with that karmic contract. And all of these restrictions and impediments are asking the masculine to choose freedom, to choose unconditional love. So I feel this illumination really has been a rediscovery of, you know, this karmic situation. There's been some exposure of some betrayal. And so he's discovering something he didn't quite know before. And I feel as all of these layers peel back, the masculine is coming to the conclusion of, hey, I want this deep, unconditional, healthy love with the divine feminine, and I got to get rid of everything that's in my way when it comes to stepping into my purpose. So let's get a couple numerology messages. Perseverance, abundance. So, you know, sometimes we got to lose it all. Sometimes we got to lose it all. And I feel we are coming into this level of domestic harmony, reciprocity. I'm being shown the Six of Pentacles. So there's that death, that rebirth, and the masculine knows it's kind of time to put in that strong effort if he wants to yield the results that he so deeply desires, to have that success in his life. Because I do feel he deeply desires this love partnership with the feminine, likely getting grounded out in nature when it comes to this spiritual partnership. Huge lesson in self-discipline, and I feel the masculine's been put in the corner, a timeout, as he goes through this major karmic completion before coming towards the feminine and stepping into that leadership role. So I feel divine feminine, you've manifested your counterpart to close out these cycles, because we are stepping into domestic harmony without a doubt. So let's see what else needs to come through for the masculine. Healing. He wants to heal this with you, divine feminine. He sees you enjoying the fruits of your labor, your spiritual transformation. He sees all the hard work that you've done and that you're living a good life. And I think he wants to come and enjoy that with you. He wants to have a bright future with you. He wants to embrace these positive changes in order to finally bring an end to these challenging times. And I think we're finally reaching the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, and then we get the Queen of Pentacles. So he sees you, Divine Feminine, as generous, practical, loving. He sees you as having a lot of material abundance and the ability to make anything beautiful. So I think he's trying to be practical as to how to proceed towards you, because he sees your love of art and beauty, and he wants to take a sensible approach, I feel, to bring healing into a situation. So there's likely been a recent upheaval that the masculine has gone through. Yeah, definitely a huge loss of financial security in that false foundation is what I'm feeling for many of the masculines. So we're going to see what else needs to come through for the Divine Masculine when it comes to this channeled message. What other energies they want us to be aware of. There's that indecision, the Emperor, the Page of Cups. I think he's still not sure if he should bring forward an apology, still going into these ego battles when it comes to this missed opportunity, knowing that the time has come to lay down this burden and to bring forward a loyal dedication within these connections. So, you know, in the past, the masculine was a master manipulator. He lied, he thieved, he did not heed the warning signs when it comes to all of these karmic actions of others, and I think a huge material loss in order to make sure that the masculine is being honest with himself. So there's been some recent exposure when it comes to some embarrassing secrets, and there is going to be some communication coming soon, is what I'm feeling, because I feel magic is being restored. And I feel a rebalancing, a realignment. A lot of these masculine juggled many options, many women, and there's a need to bring balance back into a situation. There's a need for him to do the right thing, to take charge of this negative situation and to restore a sense of structure and discipline in his life if he wants increased success. It's going to require coming in with an apology. You kind of got to make amends for all of these past poor experiences. So I think he's contemplating bringing forward a message, an apology, saying, hey, I want a new emotional experience with you. I'm coming into all of these heightened psychic abilities, and I see clearly now the seeds we planted, and we planted these seeds when we incarnated. So I feel it's time for the masculine to put forth the effort and the investment into the feminine if he wants to be rewarded. But right now, he's playing into, you know, a lot of distortion. Dead central energy is the ego, the devil, the Capricorn. But I also see, you know, Archangel Michael cutting all of those cords in order for the masculine to accept responsibility for the choices that he's made, to release these unhealthy habits, people, places, and things that have become an addiction when it comes to this failed recognition of this magical opportunity with the Divine Feminine. So all of these distractions have created an intense energy of discontentment, boredom, depression, soul suppression. And the masculine's getting a major wake-up call because the fates are kind of stepping in saying it's time to stop these delays. So unexpected upheaval, and this really is positive change in order for this new cycle, this fresh start, in order for this burden to finally get released once and for all. So there's definitely a need for balance in the masculine's life because he's likely struggling with a lot of health problems due to the stress of not being honest and needing to come forward with that solid, stable offer. And I feel really paying attention to the details before taking action, and a lot of guardian protection. I feel the angels have given the masculine the go-ahead when it comes to this communication. So let's clarify the ego card, because I do feel there's still some toxicity there when it comes to this karmic completion. So there's a lot going on. I'm going to call it like the fucking. A lot of stress being caused in the masculine's life in order to embrace positive change. So unexpected events, unexpected rapid upheaval and changes in order to get the masculine to stand up for himself and to stand up for this connection and what it is that he believes in. So all of these challenges are telling the masculine to choose his battles wisely and definitely hitting that rock bottom for sure with the Nine of Wands. So Page of Pentacles, it's a clean slate. He's going to have to start from that 0 point when it comes to all of this mischievous behavior. It's time to get to work and to do the deep dive. There's an excellent opportunity doorway opening up. And this is where we go through these promotions and we embrace a new area of studies. So breaking free from this illusion of being trapped, let's go into the Four of Cups, an awakening, yeah, of this spiritual truth. So a huge, huge release, a huge karmic ending in order for this new beginning. So a major release of situations and people that have been holding him back on this spiritual transformation. It is the death, the rebirth energy. A lot of these masculines were not very intelligent. They were not impartial. They did not respect the feminine. They were stoic in their dealings. They received poor counsel. And now it's time to communicate clearly. They were not emotionally available. They went into a very karmic, unemotional relationship, and they've been playing the martyr. They've been playing the victim. They've been going through a period of divine punishment in order for this reflection to gain this insight. So an awakening when it comes to seeing things in a whole new light. And definitely when it comes to those secrets, the masculine's discovering his true soul's desire. He's been going within for sure with the Hermit, and I feel the solitude is serving him well as part of this self-discovery for this new beginning, and definitely struggling financially. There's a lot of opposition, a lot of conflicting energy with all of these opposing forces, and he is being asked to walk away from the drama because it's not worth his time. He is being asked to stand up for himself and what it is that he deeply desires, and I feel there is a lot of fear surrounding money. He's afraid to reach out and ask the feminine for help because I feel even possibly a job loss recently with the fives in order to get him to tap into his emotions. So he's learning a valuable lesson in honor and trust, devotion. If he wants to be somebody that the feminine can completely trust, then he's going to have to come forward with the whole truth and have no hidden intentions with his emotions. So I kind of feel victory is a choice. And there's without a doubt a lot of divine justice playing out in the energies, a karmic recalibration, and integrity is in focus. And the masculine's definitely playing into all kinds of fears, expecting the worst, and it's created this self-fulfilling prophecy of everything crumbling to the ground and all of these challenges growing out of proportion in order for this refocusing. So let's look at this Knight of Pentacles, because this is the overall outcome. This is the action the masculine is taking. Wow, all of the fives. So breaking free from that karmic entrapment. A lot of these karmics feed the fear, which creates this deep lack of self-confidence. A lot of these masculines have been afraid to take action, to be accountable, and to take responsibility because they keep focusing on the negative, the loss, how things did not turn out, and forgiveness is what is needed when it comes to this past betrayal. And so coming forward, understanding that everything happens for a reason, there's always a hidden blessing. And so the end of that very betraying situation is going to bring a lot of relief, but it's going to bring a lot of sadness. So I feel the masculine is planning to get this weight off of his shoulders. He's apprehensive, but he knows he has to come forward and be honest about all of the third-party interference. I think there was a lot of drama, there was a lot of gossip, there was a lot of slander, and when it comes to the masculine not choosing his soul family, and it's kind of like graduation day is what I'm feeling. So let's get a couple last messages from Spirit. Compassion, kindness. A lot of the masculines did not actively share their heart with the feminine, and they're going through a period of humiliation when it comes to their humanitarian mission. It's kind of what I'm feeling. And so friendliness, kindness, they definitely don't have a lot of friends around them right now, and they're being asked to forge only love-based connections moving forward, to bring forward a sense of dependability towards the feminine. So I think the masculine is recognizing what needs to be rebalanced in order to bring calmness back into his soul. And in order to move beyond these constraints of the mind and the physicality, he's going to have to spontaneously take action and ask the feminine for forgiveness. And with Mars going into Aries, I feel this activation of power when it comes to the masculine coming forward for that forgiveness in order to release this past pain and to step into freedom. So releasing any self-imposed restrictions, any perceived limitations through the loving energy of the divine, stepping into purpose and dedication. So yeah, dedicating himself to this higher commitment, and his spiritual beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is our very essence and self-love is what is needed for the masculine to embrace his spiritual virtues as part of this growth is kind of what I'm feeling. So that's what I got for an updated Divine Masculine energy reading, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.